Welcome back to Engineering Robotics. Today we are going to take complete control of our NEMA 17 stepper motor by building a DIY closed loop system. We will be using an AS5600, a magnetic encoder, a TMT2226 motor driver, an ESP32, and hooking all up to the Klipper using Raspberry Pi Pico. Before we begin, please consider to subscribe to my small YouTube channel and give a like if you liked it. First up is our encoder. We are using AS5600, which is a non-contact magnetic sensor that handles the closed loop feedback. It usually comes with a small diametric magnet. You need to mount this magnet directly to the center of the rotor on the back side of your stepper motor to hold the sensor perfectly in place. Above the magnet, I designed a custom 3D printed housing. There are other housing. This is the wiring diagram. It is pretty simple and you can change in the code if you want to swap the pins. Next, let's talk about motor drivers. You could use CNC V3 Shield. It's honestly the safest and simplest plug and play option, but if you want software control over your current and microstepping, you have to directly wire the driver to the ESP32, which I will be using. This is the wiring diagram. First, I connect the 4 stepper motor wires directly to the motor driver. Then I connected the V mode and ground, which is our 24 volt. Then we will connect the step and direction directly to the ESP32. The UART and the enable pin will be directly connected to our Pico. Then the step and direction from the Pico will be connected to our ESP32. How it works is our host device, which is running Klipper, moves to the MCU, which is our Raspberry Pi Pico, and it sends step and direction to our ESP32. The ESP32 reads the step and direction from our Pico and reads the actual physical position from AS5600 encoder, then calculates error by using PID loops, and ESP32 sends the corrected step and direction signal to our motor driver to physically move the motor. Before we go any further, I have a massive warning for you. I have burned out these TMC drivers myself by making this mistake. Do not power up the driver without checking everything is connected. If you enable the motor, disconnect the power to the driver and then reapply the power while the system is alive, your driver will pop. Make sure your motor and logic are fully wired before you give power to the system. After wiring, this is how it looks. You need to upload this code onto your ESP32. You can find the code on the GitHub. You also need this library. I used Arduino IDE to flash the code. The Pico is connected to the Raspberry Pi. I used a USB hub. The ESP is connected to the, this is the motor driver, enable pin, and the UART is connected to the Pico right here, which will let me control the stepping and amps. After you power up the ESP32, you will get a hotspot. You have to connect to the Wi-Fi, which is our stepper, Smart Stepper Pro. Connect to it and go to your Chrome and type this 192.168 4.1. So as you can see, the web UI way up it. As you can see, I'm not even moving. As you can see, when I give some force, the error value is changing. That means the sensor is sensing even the smallest change in angle. Because we also connected the Raspberry Pi Pico, you have to type this. This is for our main board of the 3D printer, and this is for the Raspberry Pi Pico 2. The next thing you need to add and remove is the stepper y-axis, because I added the closed loop on the y-axis, so I have to send the step and direction to the Raspberry Pi Pico 2. So this is the main board. So we need to make the Raspberry Pi Pico to send the direction and step signal. So we write this RP2350 GPIO2, which means it will send the step on GPIO2 and also the direction on GPIO3 and so on. Because we are having TMC motor driver and we also have UART, so I set the UART. Now I can change the current here, and if I want to be silent, I can set here to be silent. Because we are not having any gear, so we will set the gear ratio as 1 and set the micro stepping for 1/8, which if you're going to use 1/16 in the ESP32, so yeah, we can set it like that. So 1/3. Now the PID value, you don't usually need the I value, but you can add it. So for that, I'll also be adding tolerances of 0.5. You can go with 0.1. If you're going with the 0.1, you need a lot of PID tuning to get the correct PID values. So I'll be adding some tolerances and home. As you can see, now our y-axis is moving. I decreased the amps to 0.2 so I could move the bed and show you the closed loop. The stepper is not able to move back. As you can see, that means our P value is pretty short. We have to increase it. Stepper is so it eventually gets it. So you see, it's not perfect. You may need to increase the amps to 1.4, 0.03. You see the error is changing with the. So higher P will also introduce what do you call it, oscillation. So let's say if I put 50 here, if I move back and forth, as you can see, it has small oscillation there. So you have to properly calibrate that. Now I recommend around 30, 25 on the P value. There is some overshoot. Okay, there we have it. It's now much better. So there is our closed loop stepper motor. If you are going to increase the amps, you may need to calibrate the PID again. I did a simple test print. I should have properly calibrated the y-axis. The print was pretty bad, and I didn't use input shaping, which you could use on this closed loop system. Thank you for watching, and consider to subscribe. And if you liked it, give it a like.